Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be going over the best tips to start your school year strong. Now we're all going back to school pretty soon now, or maybe I've already started, so I'm going to go over the things that I like to do that get me to start my school year very strong, and things that you can start to do as well. And make sure you like the video and hit subscribe so you can see more videos just like this for college advice and things like that in the future. Alright, let's get into the video now. The first tip I have for you is to make a strict schedule for you to follow. And by strict, I don't mean that you have to cram productivity and studying every single minute of the day. You can take breaks and everything. By strict, I mean a schedule that you can follow very clearly and very easily throughout the entire semester and the entire year. Now to do this, I would recommend going to sleep pretty early and getting up at least 1 hour before your first class. If your first class is at like 8 a.m., I would recommend getting up at 7 a.m. If your first class is at 10 a.m., I would recommend getting up around 9 a.m. or even earlier than that. You all know that I love waking up early and I like going to the gym in the morning, so that's my best productivity routine. But for you, it might be different. For you, maybe you like to go to the gym later in the day or do other things in the morning, make a good breakfast and everything. I would recommend at least waking up an hour before your first class. Even earlier than that sometimes too. Giving yourself enough time at the beginning of the day to get things done, like eat your breakfast and organize your backpack, go through all your notes and everything to make sure you have everything that you need for the day, is very important because that'll set you up for the rest of the day. Making sure you can schedule in some gym time. Like I said, I like to go in the morning, maybe you can schedule it in to go in the afternoon. But I would highly recommend everyone go to the gym at least 3 times a week because this will help manage your stress and let you become more healthy and physically fit. Also, a big tip is you can just go walk on the treadmill for like an hour and watch YouTube videos while you're there. That's what I like to do for my cardio sometimes, and it works out great. I get to watch my YouTube videos or favorite Twitch streamers, and I get my cardio in for the week. Like I said, this will help manage your stress and help you keep physically in shape, because if you're not physically in shape, you can't be mentally in shape as well, or at least it's harder for you to be, so you can't have that, mental fortitude to be able to study the long hours that you need to commit for your harder classes. While you're also making your schedule, make sure that you have time to get to your classes between them. I remember I had one class on one completely opposite side of campus and I had 5 minutes to get to one on the other side of campus, and it was hard work. It was just like running the entire time to get there, and I was late like almost every single day. So try not to do that. Try to make sure your classes are in good enough distance so that you can walk between them or bike between them, or that you have enough time to get between them as well. I would recommend doing like, a 30-minute or hour break between your classes because it helps you unwind and debrief from the class. I wouldn't recommend that you study or start homework or anything in these like 30-minute to 1 hour breaks because you're just going to get interrupted to have to go to class once you get in your workflow state. So I would recommend taking that time to relax, have a snack, have a drink, and get to your next class on time. Now, after your last class is when I would recommend you either go to the gym or go get dinner and then go study right after that, because this is when you should start being more productive with the rest of your day. Take your breaks earlier in the day between your classes to relax and eat, and then study after your last class, or go to the gym right after your last class. This will help keep you maintain a better schedule so that you can do this consistently throughout the day or throughout the week and the semester and the year. Because like I said earlier, when you don't have time between your classes to do your homework, that's why I recommend that you wait till after your last class to start doing all your homework, because you can more consistently do that than getting your homework done in between classes. And also, it is very important to maintain a healthy sleep schedule. Sleep at least 7 hours a night. I like to get at least 7.5 to 8 hours a night. So I like to go to bed early around 11 p.m. and wake up around 6:37. When you sleep is when your brain decides what information to retain and what information to get rid of and forget. So make sure you have a healthy sleep schedule, that way your brain can stay organized and you can stay on top of your memorization or your active recall techniques. And even keeping this sleep schedule on the weekend is important. Consistency is key to keeping a good schedule, because your body and your brain do not know the difference between Monday and Saturday. There's no difference to them. It's just another day. So make sure you can try to keep this schedule going on. And I'm not saying you can't, once in a while go out and party or do something with friends and anything, but trying to keep your schedule at least 90% of the time is what is key and what will help you maintain this healthy schedule and be more productive throughout the year. Now, the next tip I have for you is to schedule out important dates at the very beginning of the semester or quarter or year. That way you won't forget them. What I like to do is I go through my syllabus and schedule out on my Google Calendar every single class I have. So that way my set schedule for every single week of the quarter or semester is already laid out. Then you go through your syllabus and you find every single important date, whether it's like a midterm date or the final date, so that you can add that onto your Google Calendar as well. And I like to set a reminder for a week in advance so it never sneaks up on me on those important dates. Next, I like to use Google Tasks because it's built into Google Calendar for my weekly homework assignments. So I'll add a task for every single weekly homework assignment, and you can set a due date on the task. That way the task shows up in your Google Calendar, but it's not reoccurring like your rest of your calendar, and it's not an event really, it's a task, it's a separate thing, because I don't like to get my Google Calendar too cluttered, but it still shows up on the calendar when it's there. But when I uncheck it, it shows that it's deleted. This will help you stay organized and stay prepared throughout your weekly schedule so that you never forget when a homework assignment is due, when a midterm is, or when some special project is due. You can even add in important dates like scholarship applications or applications to specific programs at your school, trips that you're gonna take or something that you need to start planning for, anything like that really. The next tip I want to give you is to not overdo it. I see a lot of YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers that are in the productivity and study community that just completely overdo either their course schedule or their planning schedule or their productivity means or anything like that. You should find what works for you best. Now, for some people, having that pretty work environment and having, the aesthetic planner or anything like that stuff maybe helps them stay motivated a little more. But at least for me, I find that having a more minimal and clean setup helps me study more and be more productive and motivated. It's not necessary to have the aesthetic planner and plan out everything handwritten and then do all that. I use basic Google Calendar because it works amazing and syncs across all my devices. I use the Google Tasks because it's just built into it. I don't have a special task reminder or anything like that. It's just always been very strange to me how all these productivity YouTubers use like this very specific apps and softwares and stuff to do like basic task lists. I'm like, just use Google Tasks. It's built into Google Calendar and it's convenient. I don't see a point in using, a specific task list over another one for some micro productivity reason. This also goes for your note system as well. While having, the pretty aesthetic notes is visually pleasing and everything, I take pretty basic notes and I use them in my OneNote because it syncs across all devices and it's web compatible as well. So I use OneNote because it's just the most basic and versatile note-taking system you can use. You get aesthetic planners and stuff for, the iPad notes and everything, but I don't think it's necessary. I also don't think it's necessary to take, the most aesthetic notes with 20 different highlighter colors or anything like that. Just taking notes that work for you is what's important. And I do have a video coming up on my note-taking system pretty soon, so click subscribe and get ready for that. Because when I was in college, I gave my notebook to one of my friends, and for the class, for my OneNote drive, and I looked at it, and the entire class had the OneNote drive open at the end of the quarter, so I think I take pretty good notes, but we'll see in the video coming up soon. Another thing that bothers me too is when people use, the special pens and pencils and stuff to take notes with or to use for highlighters or anything like that. It doesn't matter. You don't need Japanese pens or Japanese highlighters or, imported pencil lead or anything like that. Just use the basic stuff. I love the stuff from Staples, the Staples pencils, pens, Sharpie pens, and the Staples notebooks. Those are my favorite. Just the most basic stuff you can get, but I honestly think it's the best that I've ever used. And it's very cheap too. And also, by the way, I don't like pencil cases. People use pencil cases all the time in the study community. I think they're a waste of space. Almost every single backpack already has some organizational component to it, so you don't need a pencil case just to take up room in your backpack when most backpacks already have the organizational space built into it. And now the last tip I want to give to you is to learn to enjoy what you're doing, or enjoy the ride. Learning to enjoy what you're doing is really how you'll get through all the challenges that you'll face in college. Now, it's gonna be hard no matter what, and you're gonna get frustrated no matter what, but if you can find something that brings you enjoyment to your everyday routine, then that'll help you immensely. I find enjoyment from organizing my notes and cleaning my backpack, making sure I have a clean and minimal work setup. That way I am not cluttered or disorganized and my OCD doesn't kick in. Or, for example, I find enjoyment from organizing my notes and organizing my backpack to make sure I have a clean, minimal setup. That way everything is organized and in its place, so I know where to find it. That way I'm not ever like looking for something that I can't find or anything like that. And I just enjoy cleaning out my backpack a lot, and reorganizing my notes. That's just something I really enjoy doing. So if you can find something like that for you, maybe you'll enjoy rewriting your notes, maybe you'll enjoy reading the textbook, maybe you'll enjoy doing your pre-lecture readings or taking notes on lecture notes, finding your professor's lecture notes and going over them again, maybe studying in groups, anything like that, it can help you enjoy what you're doing and learn more, will help keep you motivated throughout the semester. And if you can find something like that, then that's great. Especially if you can find like a study group or something too, because study groups will really help motivate you to learn more and solve more problems if you enjoy doing it with the people you're around. And speaking of that, make sure you're also in the right environment. Me personally, I hate working from home or studying at home because I get too distracted by everything. So I will do all my studying in the library because there I can't get distracted by things at home like my pets or anything like that. That way I can do as much work as possible in the least distracting environment as possible. I just can't focus at home for some reason. So I have to go to the library to make sure I'm in the proper environment to get more work done. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hit like if you enjoyed it and learned something new, and subscribe for more videos in the future that are going to be coming up about college advice and college tips and productivity tips. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.